Good morning, everyone. In the today's lecture, we will be discussing about the one more digital modulation technique, MRAPSK. So before this, let us go back on points which we discussed already in the previous videos. As we all know that in BPSK system, the only one bit can be transmitted at a time, and it has two possible symbols, 1 and 0. Hence, whenever the symbol changes, the phase shift that we'll get is theta is equal to 2 pi divided by the number of symbols. So here, since we are transmitting only one bit, the number of symbols which we get is 2 raised to n, where n is the number of bits that we are transmitting. So 2 raised to 1 is 2, so you'll get two symbols, they are 1 and 0. So then the phase shift we get is theta is equal to 2 pi divided by the number of symbols, that is 2 pi divided by the two symbols we have, that is 2 to get cancelled, that is pi. So in BPSK we have 180-degree phase shift whenever there is a change in the symbol. Similarly, after that we discussed one more modulation technique, that is the improvement over BPSK, that is QPSK. And in QPSK, we transmitted the two successive bits in the combined form to form four distinct symbols. Hence, whenever symbol is changed, the phase shift which we get is theta is equal to 2 pi divided by 4, where 4 is the possible number of the distinct symbols such as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So 2 ones are 2 twos are, so you will get pi by 2. So the phase shift that is available is 90-degree, and it is a multiple of 2i plus 1, that is 90-degree, 180-degree, 270-degree and 360-degree. Right? Sorry, it is a multiple of 5 by 4, that is 45-degree, but the difference is 90-degree. If you take pi by 4, that is 45-degree, and 3 pi by 4, that is 135-degree. So the difference is 90-degree, right? So the same can be further extended, where if we have n successive bits to be transmitted, then there will be m is equal to 2 raised to n possible symbols. And whenever symbol changes, the phase shift is given by theta is equal to 2 pi divided by m, right? And whenever you will get the phase shift, that is theta is equal to 2 pi by m, that kind of PSK is known as the M array PSK. Means you can transmit m possible symbols at a time, right? And duration of each symbol will be t is equal to n times tb, where n is the number of bits you are transmitting and tb is the duration of each bit, right? So since there are m symbols, this PSK method is known as M array PSK, and it is also known as the generic or general form of PSK, which is a special kind of the PSK modulation system, right? So now let us understand what exactly this MRSK stands. So it is a special class of PSK where the phase of the carrier takes one of the m possible values to modulate the input data, right? So whenever you have the input data, the binary input data, each bit in the input data is going to modulated by the phase of the carrier, which can take from m possible values, right? So the phase shift theta I is equal to 2 into I minus 1 into 5 divided by capital M, where this I is equal to 1 to m. So you get the m different combination of symbols, and for those symbols the phase shift is given by theta I by this expression. And during each signaling interval of duration capital T, one of the m possible signal is sent, right? For example, if I is equal to 1, then you will get you have to transmit S1 of t for the duration tb. So which is given by square root of 2e by t cos 2 pi fct, and the phase is denoted by 2 pi divided by m I minus 1, where I is equal to 1 to m, right? And here this corresponds to the amplitude of the carrier, that is square root of 2e by t. E is signal energy per symbol, and your carrier frequency fc should be enc times 1 divided by t, where 1 by t is the frequency of the digital data, right? Next, coming to the signal space diagram or constellation diagram, let us expand this equation. If you expand this equation number 1 using some trigonometric identity, you'll have the signal equation Si of t in terms of the two basis function pi 1 of t and pi 2 of t, and there will be a 90-degree phase shift. There will be a 90-degree phase shift between these two basis function, right? So pi 1 of t is given by square root of 2 by t cos 2 pi fct, and pi 2 of t is square root of 2 by t sine 2 pi fct. So there is a 90-degree phase shift you can observe between these two basis function, and both the waveforms are defined over the duration 0 to tb, where tb is 1b duration, right? And similarly, the m message points are equally spaced on a circle of radius square root of e. Means you have to locate all the m message points over a circle whose radius is given by square root of e and centered at origin, right? So this is the signal space diagram or constellation diagram. So I have taken m is equal to 8. M is equal to 8 means it is the octave phase shift keying, right? So if I consider m is equal to 2 means it is a binary phase shift keying. If I take m is equal to 4 means it is 4 array means it is a quadrature phase shift keying. Similarly, if I take m is equal to 8 means it is octave phase keying, and its signal space diagram is given with the help of a circle having the radius is square root of e. So this value is what? A square root of e here. So square root of e, and which is centered at origin, right? So here the 8 message points, right? You can observe here from M1 to till M8, there are 8 message points, and all message points are located at equidistant on the periphery of this circle, right? And the radius of each message vector from the origin is given by square root of e. Understood? And here this dashed line indicates the decision boundary, right? So any message point, so any point or information which lies between this region. So if I take this part is considered as region 1, so this one as region 2, this is region 3, like that. Any point which lies in this region is considered as the message point 1. Similarly, any point which lies within this region is considered as what? Message point 6, right? So this is how you have to draw the signal space diagram or constellation diagram. Understood? So this is positive square root of e, and this side it is minus square root of e plus square root of e, and this is negative y-axis minus square root of e, right? And the dashed line indicates the decision boundaries. And one more important point you have to understand here is the distance between any two message points. So let me take M1 and M2 message points, and what is the distance between these two message points? And the distance between these two message points is called as the Euclidean distance. And how to calculate this Euclidean distance? So let me join these 2 points by dotted lines. So this is the distance between these two message points M1 and M2, which is denoted by what? D12, right? And I will divide this distance by half, so you will get this point. And let us join, right, from origin to this midpoint of the Euclidean distance, right? And here this is a what there is a 90-degree phase angle, right? And here the angle between these two lines is this horizontal line and this decision boundary. The angle is pi by m, right? Because the total angle for this circle is 360, and if you consider this upward from this m pi to m1, you will get 180 degree. So 180 degree divided by the total message points capital M. And similarly below this horizontal line, you will get, if you take the distance between M1 and M8, right? So that is D18. So this distance is considered as D18. And here also the angle is pi divided by M, right? So then how to calculate this one, right? So this distance is, so I will consider it as a D12 by 2. So this point D12 by 2. Let us take the sine of this angle. So sine of pi by m is equal to opposite divided by adjacent, right? So sine pi of m is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. And opposite is what? So from m1 to m2 it is d12. Half of this one is d12 by 2. So this is d1 by 2. And adjacent is what? This is 0 point to origin to m1 point, it is nothing but square root of e. That is the x-axis coordinate. So square root of e, right? So now let us shift this square root of e this side and 2 also this side. So we'll get a d12 is equal to 2 times square root of e into sine pi divided by m. Here you can see. So this is d12 by 2, half of the Euclidean distance between m1 and m2. And here it is square root of e. So sine of this angle is equal to d12 by 2 divided by square root of e. So you will get a d12 is equal to 2 square root of e sine pi by m. And also for this one, the distance between message point m1 and m2, which is denoted by Euclidean distance d18, which is also given by 2 square root of e sine pi by m, where d12 and d18 are the Euclidean distance between the message points m1 and m2 as well as m1 and m8. So this is about the signal space diagram for M-array PSK as well as its Euclidean distance between the two message points. Right? Hope you understood what is M-array PSK, signal space diagram, and Euclidean distance concept. Thank you.